Hi everybody, back again. So we're going to explain how you soak the GrowZorb to start off with. You would set it in a basin of water, or use your trays like David's done here. You fill up the tray with as much water as you would need to soak the GrowZorb. You leave it in for 10 to 15 minutes, David was saying, and then you would take it out, and Marilyn will show you how she did that.
This is the micro slab.
This is to grow microgreens. And now we're going to seed this tray with broccoli from Mom's Sprouting Seeds. And this is the GrowZorb method, okay, because it's a little different when you do it on soil, but because the GrowZorb doesn't hold things like the soil does, we're going to put it down the middle, or as Marilyn did, off to the side. And we will give you a gram measurement as to how much seed that we're using. Just try to stay in the middle. The reason that we're going to stay in the middle is because when you have soil, your seeds the soil goes from wall to wall, but when you're using any kind of mat, whether it's a cocoa mat, a GrowZorb mat, or a hemp mat, you're going to have a little bit of space on the sides of your trays, and you don't really want your seeds to fall down there. If they do, it's not a big deal. And as you see, Marilyn's going to just gently spread the seeds out with her hand, and they are sticking to your fingers a little bit because the mat is really wet, but that's good because you want the dampness for your seeds to germinate. And she's going to knock the seeds off her fingers there, and then she's going to sprinkle a little bit more on so that it's a little bit better coverage. You do need some space because you do need room for your plant to grow, but maybe try not to touch it too much, because then it won't get so wet and it won't be so hard to spread. Try using your whole hand like that, because it doesn't leave the finger streaks.
Still think a paintbrush.
That might work. You'll have to get one and keep it just for this purpose. Absolutely. I use one for dusting my little ornaments at home because you can't get into the cracks. Paintbrushes are wonderful tools. So yeah, so then I'm just going to do this. How many tablespoons did you use, do you know?
That would be 1 extra, so 7.
So I'm just kind of filling in a little bit in the holes. I wouldn't have pulled out a whole tablespoon because I can't hold that much in my hand. Okay, so there you go. Now, this is an experiment with the GrowZorb so that we can see how much this yields. When the plants are ready, we will do a harvest and let you guys all know how much the weight is from this tray, because the weight is how much your yield is, right?
You can also tell.
And Marilyn's going to be squirting the tops to make sure everything's got a nice saturation. Like you would germinate your seeds in the house, you would keep them in a damp paper towel. These have to be kept damp to germinate properly. And these will have a weight on them as well. They're not going to have a 10-pound weight, but they will have anywhere from probably 3 to 5-pound weight put on top of them, and or another tray. You can stack your broccoli as well. It just doesn't need as heavy a weight as some of the other seeds do.